Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Goldylocks Productions presents the Live from Little Bear Sanctuary show with Christopher Vane. Enjoy topics such as the vegan lifestyle, sanctuary media highlights, and spotlighting new rescues.
Happy Friday, friends. Welcome to Live from Little Bear Sanctuary. I'm your host, Chris Vane. How's everybody doing today? I always tell you, if you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube, don't forget to sign in, say hello. We'd love to chat with everybody. Good morning, Elizabeth. How are you today? Oh, thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. Who else is here? Kim, what's up, Kim? Good morning. Again, if you're watching live, sign in, hit that subscribe button if you are watching on YouTube, and like the show. Really helps us out. And you guys have been so amazing about subscribing on YouTube and doing all that great stuff that we now have a new, I don't know it's something new. It's called Super Chat. And it's a way you can donate to the show, to the Little Bear Sanctuary show and the Goldylocks channel. And what you can do is, this is totally new to me. I'm not even sure how it works, but I'm sure you guys will be able to see it. And this is for you people on YouTube only. You can support our show. It says you can send a super chat, and there's different levels, like a $5, $10, and it goes up from there. And what that'll do is it'll put your comments first, and we can acknowledge you. If you have any questions, if you just want to say hello, it's a great way to donate to Little Bear Sanctuary. It'll help with the animals directly. So we're excited about that. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing how it works. What is the super chat is available? Yay. Okay. Click on the $ below the comment box. So yeah, if you'd like to donate, we would love for you to do that. This is literally, I was telling Tiffany, my producer, this is the first time I've sat down in 2 days. We have had so many rescues the past 48 hours. We had a little guy that we rescued from Lee County Animal Services, and he's cute as a button. Little potbelly pig, 8 months old. We don't have a name yet, so that could maybe be a super chat thing. Maybe we'll give everybody a chance to name him. Thought maybe next week. And yeah, he's really cute. He's with the new arrivals, and then we had a big rescue this morning that we'll tell you guys about next year. Top secret. What else can I tell you? Excuse me. I'm tired, guys. If you have any questions, you guys know how to reach me. It's info@littlebearsanctuary.org. And all right. Send questions, say hello here. Kim says, I don't know. Does that mean, did Kim $1.99 super sticker? I don't know what that means. Oh, thank you, Kim. There we go. Kim. Thank you, Kim. There's our super chat. And there's I guess that's a super sticker. So see how she comes on the screen right here. Thank you, Kim. So that looks like fun. Yay. All right. So if you missed any episodes, we're on demand on YouTube, of course, Periscope, and the Goldylocks Network, Facebook. All right. Happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends. That started last night. I wanted to, before I bring on my first guest, we have a busy show. We actually have two guests today. David from David's Kitchen LA. He's going to be doing some cookies for us today. I know you guys love him. He's going to be on a little later. Our 2021 calendar is coming out soon. Kim, how's that calendar going? Kim is she's our director of communications, as you guys know, and she's been doing a fantastic job. she's watching us today. Good morning, Wilma. How are you, sweetie? All right. I'm just going to take a minute to take a deep breath. My new backdrop, but I can see you're on widescreen. You can see the whole. You can see that. I'm going to do this. How's that? Today's T-shirt from FTLA Apparel. My body is a temple, not a tomb. FTLA Apparel. I got to sit up straight. Made famous by Leonardo da Vinci. All right. My first guest is no stranger to podcasts. She is the co-owner of LA plant-based Mexican restaurant, Sugar Taco, co-host of Shenanigans Pop Culture Podcast with her friend and Bravo TV star, Sheena Shea. I hope I'm saying it right.
Yes.
All right. Welcome to the studio, Jamie Lynne.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thanks
it's so
for coming
nice
on,
to
Jamie.
virtually meet you.
Yes, finally, right? How's it going?
I love your shirt.
Thank you.
I
Thanks.
kind of want one.
Well,
I'm wearing one
FTLA
that
Apparel
sent me.
What's that now?
Let me see if you can see it.
Free Lolita. Yes. Oh my God.
Down
absolutely.
in Florida, where you are.
Yes. Very sad.
Can you hear me okay? Because your
I
volume
can.
is super low.
Can you hear me okay?
You're really, really low.
All right.
I can barely hear you. I could work with it, but I'm just wondering if you could hear me okay.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Let me turn myself up here. It's a new microphone. How's that? Any better? Better? Oh gosh, really? Wow. Let me do this.
It's
Hold
okay.
on.
We can work with it. I could hear you. It's just really, really low. Now I don't hear anything. Well, you went and made it worse, Chris. I can't hear you at all now. Nothing. Now you're muted, basically. It looks like you've muted yourself.
How about now?
I can hear you now.
Better?
No, it's still low, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
I'll just listen really, really intently.
That's so crazy. Wow. All right. Let me do this for you guys. I'll move closer to the mic. How's that?
Perfect.
All right. So welcome again. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Tell everybody about Sugar Taco.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. We're in the process of opening our second location right now in the midst of a pandemic. Go figure.
Yikes.
But no, it's a plant-based Mexican restaurant in LA on Melrose. And it opened a little over a year ago, founded by Jade Nicole. You might know her, probably not you, but maybe some people might know her from MTV's The Hills. She was also Playmate of the Year several years back. Right, and just a very passionate animal rights advocate. And her story is really interesting. You should get her on here too.
I would love to.
Yeah, but I mean, long story short, she was working for a restaurant group and she just felt really hypocritical promoting chicken burritos, and the type of food that they were serving, being a vegan herself. So she decided that, and in addition to that, she was having her own struggles being the only woman in that restaurant group and being taken seriously. And she just had this idea that she wanted to break out on her own, open up her own restaurant. She called her best friend, Brittany, and said, "Hey, do you want to do this with me?" They said yes. A little over a year ago, they opened it, but I know she spent a lot of time gathering investors. She could have funded it herself. She had other people who said, next time you want to do anything on your own, I will back you. But then she was going to move forward with that. And then she just had this idea no, I want to work with females. I want to empower women to be business owners, because with her experience, when the people in her restaurant group approached her, it was to ask her if her boyfriend wanted to invest and not her. And she was like, Well, what about me? Are you not asking me just because I'm a female? And she ended up being one of the largest investors in that group. So through her experience with that, she said, you know what, I want to kind of pave the way for other women to do this as well. So she made it a point to only get women investors. I think they have one male investor who's a good friend of hers, but the rest are all female. And there's probably around 10 to 12 of us. I didn't know her back then, so I didn't invest in the first one. But the story with the second location is, I kind of chalk it up to like fate or good timing or divine intervention, whatever you want to call it. But I had been following them, you know, living in LA. I'm aware of all of like the great vegan restaurants that we have here. And I was just scrolling through Instagram one day and I saw one of their posts and their food looked delicious. And I knew it was female owned. And I DM'd her and I was like, hey, I don't know what came over me either. It was just almost like I was just listening to my intuition. But I was like, hey, if you're ever going to open another location, or if you're ever going to open up the first Sugar Taco to other investors, please let me know. I love your mission. I would love to be involved with what you're doing. And within 5 minutes, I got a response and she was like, this is perfect timing. We're in our final phase of gathering investors for our second location. And I had no idea they were even opening a second location. Yeah. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like we got on a phone call and we have some mutual friends, because normally, you know, she won't work with people who she doesn't know. So fortunately, Sheena, the host of Shenanigans, she knew another investor and vouched for me, and I was able to get on board. And we've been doing everything down from like, I did the lease for them in the new location, you know, brokered that. And then, cause I have a real estate license as well.
Oh, cool.
And then, you know, Jade and the girls, they're in there. Last time I was there, Tina, who's another investor, she was painting vases, and another girl was knocking down the wall. Like you know, they're doing all the work themselves, which is amazing.
I love that.
So it's really exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. Yeah, I follow you girls on Instagram, of course. So
awesome.
I love the whole story. Where's the second one opening?
Sherman Oaks, which is the Valley. If you go to the Valley in LA,
of course.
So right on Ventura Boulevard.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a nice big patio in front. And then we've knocked out the windows in the front so we can kind of make like the accordion glass to fully open, so that the indoor space can kind of become outdoor space, you know, with all these uncertain times. We don't know what's going to be allowed for dine-in or what's considered indoor, outdoor, but we're hoping with, you know, installing these types of windows, we can seat more people.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea. Yeah, crazy times, right?
Absolutely. What's interesting, you know, a lot of people are saying like, you're crazy to, you know, open a restaurant in this time. Like we can't even be open right now. But when I invested with her, I said, I don't even care if I get my money back, which is like so dumb to say, right? But I was just like, I believe in this mission so much that I will consider this a donation to animal rights. Wow. If I don't get my money back. I believe so strongly in Jade and what she's doing and the mission. And, you know, on top of it, I did do a little due diligence, and, you know, the location from the year before to this year, during the pandemic, they did better than they did the prior year when they first opened. So to me, that's like, wow, that's amazing growth in a very hard time. I think a lot of people, I think this pandemic has turned people on more to healthy vegan eating. Yeah, and it's just, they're crazy busy all the time, even with just delivery, pickup, and takeout. That's
incredible. I love Mexican food. I always cook vegan Mexican at home. So I hope one day I'll make it out there to check it out.
Yeah, I hope you do too. We'll treat you to whole, what's it called when you order like everything on the menu? It's like a mukbang or something like that.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I would love that. We could do a little segment or something.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Fun. Awesome. Wow. So why Sugar Taco? Where'd the name come from?
That's a really good question. And when I get Jade on here, she's going to answer that for you.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll leave that one for her. Cool. I know you started a plant-based food relief program in response to COVID-19.
Yeah, I did. The way that came about was just, you know, one day I was sitting at home in quarantine, just wondering, what can I do? I need to do more. And I called up Jade and I was like, hey, if I donate, you know, a certain amount of funds, can I order some like burritos from Sugar Taco? Because, you know, I don't want them to have to donate all of it. So I wanted to contribute my own funds as well. So I said, if I contribute this, are you guys able to make this amount of burritos? Because I would love to like do like a relief. And at first it was just like a one-time thing. I was like, I just want to make a food donation.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I love that idea. I'm going to match how much you're putting in. So the restaurant will also match it.
Awesome.
And she's like, and also let's just do this on a regular basis. Let's try to do it every single week. And so, you know, with her motivation, I started a GoFundMe, and all the girls have been promoting it. And every week, you know, we've been able to deliver meals, and we've worked with a lot of like group homes and shelters. And one shelter that I've been delivering to most recently is for domestic violence survivors. So it's women and then their children, and they house them there. So that's really special for me to be able to give back to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great. I know, I think I read, I think we have all the links to your GoFundMe up. Every time you reach 250, you do a delivery?
250 is enough to make a full delivery to a shelter or a group home or any sort of charity organization that we drop off to.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we've been getting that every week, and even some people just I don't even know who they are, just anonymously will donate just $250. I'm like, that's our week's donation. Amazing, you know?
That's incredible. Yeah, that's great. I love GoFundMe. They're a great donation platform. They do a lot for nonprofits. We work with them directly, so it's they truly. I really feel they're much better than a lot of those schlocky fundraising sites that are out there.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because this is my first experience, you know, raising funds for anything. So
yeah, they're a great platform. They really are. I know all the girls there. I actually was the hero of the month for August for the sanctuary with GoFundMe. So it was a great experience. They're great. Mostly, I think it's all women there too.
Okay.
Which is really nice. Speaking of domestic violence, one of your passions is Purina's Purple Leash project. Say that 3 times real fast.
Yeah, I got introduced to them because I didn't know this, and it's not, I don't think it's widely available information, but a lot of the shelters that do take in domestic violence victims, they can't accept pets.
Yeah.
So something like 70% of these victims decide to stay in the abusive situation because they're scared of what's going to happen to their dog or their cat, you know, and, you know, their abuser has even said, you know, use that as a form of control. Like, if you leave, I will hurt, you know, this animal. So they decide to stay. And that really scared me. And so what the Purina Purple Leash project does is they go into all of these shelters and adapt them to be able to take in pets as well. And then they have a site, on their site, they have a list of shelters that are animal friendly, and they're just trying to grow that more and more.
So are they directly involved in opening shelters, or they kind of like work?
They're not opening shelters, which I think would be a great idea or a great next step. But what they're doing now is just going into existing shelters and adapting them, whether they need to add like a grass area for dogs to relieve themselves or bring in all the pet beds or whatever's needed, they're supplying it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was reading that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience domestic abuse in their lifetime. That's crazy.
Isn't that? Yeah.
The numbers are staggering, and 48% of all victims delay leaving because they don't want to leave their pet. That's really sad.
It really is. Yeah. So I think it's something that's not talked about enough. And when you read off these numbers, it's shocking.
Yeah.
I
didn't even
that many people out there who have experienced this. There's so many people that can even relate. But nobody talks about it, you know, and I'm sure it's an issue that can be balanced, because yes, like a lot of people find that to be a private situation that shouldn't be talked about, but I'm kind of on this side where, and in fact, I wrote a post about this the other day where it's like, if you don't talk about it, the only people that helps are the abusers. Yeah.
Well said. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe the statistics when I read them. And I think even more now. I read because of COVID, people are staying home. The 30% more people are ending up, more domestic violence. It's going unreported, especially kids. Also, they're not being seen in school, so then nobody's catching the bruise marks or the signs of abuse. Yeah, really scary. Yeah. Um, you have a petition for restaurants to add, what, 25% of their menu should be vegan?
Yes.
What's
And
that
that
about?
number is totally arbitrary. It
Okay.
was just to get a conversation going.
Okay.
I just want more. I just want
Yeah.
more vegan options out there. And I just want restaurants to know that we're a growing market.
Yeah.
6% of the US is now vegan. Can you believe
Crazy.
that?
Yeah.
It used to be
That's
under
great.
1% just a couple
Yeah.
years ago, I think.
Yeah.
So, and in the UK, it's even higher.
Yeah,
I would report that
oh,
by the
man.
end of like 2021, 25% of the UK is going to be plant-based.
Yeah.
So it's just this amazing booming market. And even just from a business standpoint, I have been approaching restaurants and letting them know, like, fine, you don't have to be 100% vegan, but just add some more options. And it kind of was born out of me going to restaurants with friends who are not vegans. So we're
Yeah.
not going to a vegan restaurant, and
Right.
just even they'll have like an Impossible Burger on the menu, but it comes with cheese and it comes with a brioche bun that has butter in it. And
Yep.
I'm still finding myself having to make these modifications and be that annoying vegan customer.
Yeah.
And every time I've done that now, I'm Karen. I asked to speak to the manager, and this is part of my, activism though. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
and I explained to them, I'm like, hey, like, I'm a vegan, and this is how I had to modify your one vegetarian option on the menu. It would be great if I didn't have to do that. And if I'm feeling this way and telling you, think of all your other customers who aren't telling you, and
Right.
we don't want to be singled out. We're already, we already face it enough, in our friend groups and our families, whatever it may be. We just
Yeah.
want to go out to eat. We don't want to have to sit there and talk with the waiter or with the server and just completely, I just did it last night. Like,
Yeah.
every time. Last night I went to a Mexican restaurant that was still open in Orange County. It was all outdoors. And I ordered their one vegetarian taco option, which was mushroom tacos, but they put sour cream and cheese on it. So I had to sub guacamole for the sour cream, leave off the cheese, and cross my fingers and hope that they get it right. And it's just like, we don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. We have a Mexican restaurant in town, and it's always the cheese, that's and my first date with my husband many years ago, I ordered the black bean burritos, and I would always say no cheese, and they always get it wrong. It comes with the cheese.
And the worst is when you order, like, I don't know if you guys have Postmates in Florida, but any sort of food delivery service, that's the worst, because it's like you can't even get it fixed. So then you're just don't eat.
Yeah, you don't eat.
I've written to Postmates, and I noticed that they've implemented something. Do you have Postmates in Florida?
I've never heard of Postmates.
Okay, it's similar, like if you know of like Grubhub.
Yeah, we have
Grubhub and all it's a meal delivery service, right? So they got my food wrong so many times. Like, whether I'm ordering like a vegan pizza, they put regular cheese on it, or Impossible meat, they'll put real meat on it. So many times to get it wrong, and like they just act like it's no big deal. And I'm like, if I ate that would be devastating to me. And not only that, even if I'm not eating it, the fact that cheese or that meat was wasted and used, I just paid for something that I don't support. Yep. And I wrote a long email to Postmates explaining all of that, and how we feel ethically about this, and how if you're going to be in the food business in some way, you have to understand everybody. A lot of times I find myself having to say I'm allergic just so they take it seriously, but I don't want to do that anymore, And so I said, you need to make a section, or you need to do something to specify that the person ordering is vegan, just so there's extra checks in place to make sure that it's right. So most recently I noticed now they have a vegan section, like, hey, plant-based, check out these restaurants.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Change is coming.
Good for you. Change is coming. Oh my God. Tell me about it. And it's worse here in Florida. You can't even imagine.
Oh, I'm sure. Anytime I would go to Florida often, because I'm from the East Coast. I'm from New Jersey originally, and Florida was our escape, Yeah. We would go there in the winters, and I still have a lot of family in Florida. So I always loved going down there. But back then when I was a child, I was vegetarian. I wasn't vegan, but it was so hard. Just anywhere down south, it's so hard. Even the drive down Like, you know, all the fast
Oh my
food places,
God.
there's nothing.
There's nothing. There's nothing. No, I'm from New York City, so I totally get it.
Yeah.
Well, when you're here, come visit. You got to come see the animals.
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
moment that I can feel comfortable getting on a plane, I am there.
Yeah. And
yeah,
you know, we
that's
have
really cool. And so you host people there. You have these glampers, right?
Yeah, we have a glamper.
Tell me about
We
that
do.
a little bit.
Oh, that's amazing. It's um, I'm also a realtor, not anymore, but you know, Florida realtor, and a good friend of mine from Miami who's a realtor purchased an old Aerostream, you know, the big silver, and she completely redid it, and it's parked here on our pond, and it's set up for guests. It's an Airbnb.
Sign me up.
There. Yeah, come on down. Come on down. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you.
All right. So how many animals do you currently have?
Oh my God. Today brings us to 157.
Wow.
Yeah, we took a lot.
To you. Like, thank you so much for doing that for the animals. That's just so special.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That warms my heart.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be able to do what I do. Well, it was well thought out, where we have, you know, I tell everybody we have amazing supporters. And we're just, you know, I get to do this every day, so it's pretty amazing. Yeah. That's
my dream. Eventually, one day, I would love to be able to do that too.
Yeah.
But in California, it's not happening.
California, it's not really. Yeah, I was gonna say probably expensive too.
Yeah, it would probably be way too expensive to do here. At least like towards the coast where I am. Maybe out, you know, east a little bit. It's a possibility, but it's in the cards.
Okay, cool. Well, if you need any help, I have plenty of resources.
I will take you up on that.
Tell me about your journey to veganism. How, where, what, how, what, when, why veganism? How did it happen?
Well, I had been vegetarian since a very, very young age. I was the only one in my family. And it's a funny story. And again, a story that I kind of like say, like, was this some sort of like fate? How did all of these things align? But I was a child and I was watching the movie Charlotte's Web.
Okay.
And we all know Wilbur.
Yeah, Wilbur.
So my dad happened to be cooking ham that night.
Wow.
And it clicked. And I said, that's Wilbur. I don't want to eat Wilbur. I don't want a pig killed for me. Yeah. And my dad just kind of sarcastically, jokingly said, well, then become a vegetarian. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what's that? And he goes, it means you don't eat meat. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And he's like, you can't do that. I'm like, yes, I can. And from that moment on, I stopped eating meat. But, you know, that was so uncommon. Where in New Jersey, you know, I'm from an Italian family.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You know, and, you know, although my dad prompted it by being sarcastic and thinking I couldn't do it, I have to say I couldn't have done it without him. One, for him even telling me what it was, but two, every night he was the cook in the family. My mom's Irish. We don't let her cook. We'll let her bake, but she can't cook. So every night, you know, my dad was the cook and he would make a separate meal for me in my entire childhood growing up. So if I did not have that support, which I know so many people probably don't get that from their families, but if I didn't have that, there was no way at that age I'd be able to make my own meals every night. And I would just succumb to having to eat what everyone else ate at the table, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, so this vegetarian thing went on for many, many years. And then once I just got more into animal rights and activism, and I knew what was happening in dairy, but I didn't research it to the extent that I should have. Probably I was more comfortable being ignorant and just thinking I was doing enough as a vegetarian. And then when I really saw what was happening, I said, I'm a hypocrite. Like if I stand against animal abuse, dairy is probably one of the worst, you know, and just figuring out what went on and just knowing I didn't want to contribute that to anymore. So that was about 3 years ago and I had dabbled in veganism prior to that. And like for, you know, a year here or there, and I would always go back to the cheese, you know, but it's sticking this time.
Good. It's changed a lot. It's a lot easier now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What a great dad, by the way. What an awesome.
One sad little veggie burger, and it was yeah, or French fries was our only option.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it's definitely changing, and I love
Oh
to
my
see
God.
it.
Yeah, yeah. What a great dad, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
awesome. Yeah. What's your favorite podcast?
Have you ever listened to The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I have to tell you, any podcast of his that I listen to, my life has changed for the better.
Wow.
You know, and he has over 1,000 podcasts out. So I haven't heard every single one. I'll go through the guests and I'll see like what speaks to me. Like, he had Jay Shetty on, who wrote the book Think Like a Monk. That was an amazing interview.
Wow.
He had Rebecca. I listened to this years ago. I can't think of her last name. I think it's Noose, something with an N. But she was the founder of WeWork, her and her husband. And then she went on to talk about an educational program that they're in process calling We Learn. And it was just fascinating. I'm like, this is so smart. But anyway, so every guest that he has on just teaches me something. And I recommend this podcast to anybody. He has so many. Just go through it, see which ones speak to you, give it a listen. It truly is a school of greatness. And someone within Action Park Media, which is our podcast company for Shenanigans, someone had interviewed Lewis. So he came to our studio because he's local. He's in LA as well. And I said, I spoke to like the girl who, our producer. I was like, can you please get us Lewis for our podcast? And Sheena hasn't really been familiar with him, because I listen to more of like the entrepreneurial, spiritual podcasts. She is more like the pop culture side of it, you know, and so that's what she brings to and it is what we do is pop culture. So I'll throw in my little things here and there, but not overkill. But I'm more in that realm. So she wasn't familiar with him, and I said, you've got to listen to him. I'm going to send you a couple of my favorite episodes, and then we're going to have him on as a guest. So I am so excited to hopefully have him on and just tell him how he's helped me and changed my life for the better.
Yeah. Wow. I'm definitely going to check it out. Tell me something nobody knows.
Something nobody knows. I podcast. I'm an open book.
Okay. All right. So am I, actually. So I get it.
There is a show in the works about the restaurant and the women who own it.
Awesome. That would be amazing, actually. I would love to see that.
I can't wait. I think, I mean, what a great way. It's mainstream and it's about veganism. Yeah. And women in business. How much better could that be?
It couldn't be any better. It couldn't be. Fantastic. Final thoughts? Anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to cover?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it was great meeting you for a short period of time.
Likewise.
I can't wait till we meet in person. I know we're going to meet in person one day.
Yes.
And thank you again for being here. And I'm going to reach out to your friend to tell us about Sugar Taco.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell her to definitely connect with you, and you need to get her on here. She's got some amazing stories as well. So
I'd love to talk to her.
I'd love to see that.
Thank you again for being here, sweetie. It was great to meet you.
Thank you. And thank you for all you do for the animals.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Who's in the studio? Hi, Pam. How are you? Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Kim says, yay. Yay. Isn't that great, Kim? Fun show today. All right. I'm going through my notes. You know, we guys have another guest, one of your favorite people. Let's see. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm getting my comments all together here. I don't want to miss anybody. Rosemary, good morning. Good afternoon. All right. I think I got everybody. Pam. Hey, Pam. I don't know when Pam's show is. How's Daisy doing? Daisy is doing really well. Daisy is our piggy that had some babies. I don't think you guys have seen the videos yet, or maybe you did. I can't remember. Pam's show is Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pam Silver Eagle. Tuesdays, 1 p.m. on the Goldylocks network. All right. There we go. I'm so glad I have Tiffany in the studio because otherwise I'd be lost. Anyway, if you guys are listening, Purple Leash Project, wow, fantastic. And I love that Jamie is using her restaurant to help people in need. That's just, there's nothing better than that. I love people, entrepreneurs who give back to the community. Yeah, and if you guys want to donate to her GoFundMe, there's links in her bio. Thanks, Tiffany. Tiffany says, come visit our Patreon. Join the Little Bear Sanctuary Patreon. We do have a Patreon now. It's a couple different levels of sponsorship from $5 and up. So it's a great way to sponsor us monthly, and you'll have access to behind the scenes footage. If you were a Patreon, you had already met our little rescue from yesterday, because I know he's up on there. And I think there's, we have some baby ducks that hatched recently, unbeknownst to us, from a little one of our wild ducklings here. Wild ducks. She hatched some babies. They're really cute. We didn't find her nest, so we got a couple little babies running around, and I think we're getting them up today. All right. Is David ready? Is David ready to do his cooking? I think David is ready to do his cookies. Here we go. Hey, David, how are you?
Hello. I give you the spatula salute. How are you doing this morning?
How's it going?
Awesome. Boy, it was really great to listen to Jamie Lynne, and I'm so excited because that second location she's opening in Sherman Oaks is basically in my backyard. So
cool.
I'll definitely have to give it a try. I'll have to talk to her. Who knows? Maybe, David's Kitchen LA could make a signature sugar cookie for sugar.
Hey.
And
good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I also loved all of her, giving back to the community, and actually live on this show, I will commit to making some desserts for them as they are doing their food deliveries. I'll connect with Jamie Lynne and make some desserts that they can bring along with them.
Thank you very much. That's amazing. Awesome. Wow, I love that. Thanks, David.
I think everybody is really struggling right now. We're very fortunate, and I think it's even more important to give back where you can. I also thought it was very interesting listening to Jamie talk about the experiences that she has when she goes to a vegan restaurant, or she goes to a restaurant and they don't have vegan options. And she's like, we had to put up with that with our family and friends. And that's a big part of how I started my vegan journey. We talked about this the first time I came on the show. And, a big part of what I love to do and express my love for my friends and family is to cook for them. And as we had vegan friends and family members come into the family, I also wanted to make sure that they felt included and that I was making something for them that they would be able to enjoy. So
thank you, Super Space Cookie, for the donation.
So, then this brings me to today. So Christmas and holiday cookies are something that I absolutely love to do. I have just wonderful memories of my mom making cookies. And I was thinking about this morning. She always used to make the cookies at night, and it was a family affair.
Yeah, my mom too.
Yeah, my dad used to help, my brothers and sisters, and we all had little different jobs to do, and it was fun. And just, as a lot of folks aren't going to be able to be with their families this year, to think of the fond memories that you have is even more important than ever this year.
Sure.
So, do you like my new Christmas lighting? I have like red and green, background. I have these lights, and I figured, well, I finally found a use for them and to make
that's awesome.
So today's cookie that I'm going to make is a vegan chocolate Amaretti cookie. Now, some of you might recognize an Amaretti cookie from Italian stores that come in like this orange tin, and they're individually wrapped cookies that are really.
I remember those. Yes, I love those.
So this is a version of that is, first of all, vegan. It is chocolate and almond, which you can't go wrong with that. But when you cook these, the texture is absolutely amazing. It's kind of crispy on the outside, but really chewy and soft on the inside. And I love them. I could eat the whole tray. But the best part is that they're really easy. So even if you're not a baker, you could make these cookies for the holidays. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to whip it together, okay? So the first thing,
are these gluten-free?
These are gluten-free, yes, cool. Because we're going to use 2 cups of almond flour. Now, this is different than almond meal. The almond flour is actually ground even finer to a flour. So you have 2 cups of almond flour. You have 3/4 of a cup of castor sugar. Now, castor sugar is just granulated sugar that's ground even finer, and you want a very thin sugar which will eliminate having any crunch or granules when you're actually eating the cookie. It'll absorb into the batter a little bit better. So 3/4 cups of that. We have 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. And last but not least, a pinch of salt. I'm just going to go ahead and take my spoon and mix these dry ingredients around just a little bit. And it gets all nicely incorporated. Don't worry if you have some lumps here or there, they'll all come out. Now, for the liquid, we have 2 vegan eggs, and that is 1 tablespoon, actually, in here we have 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds and 6 tablespoons of water. We're going to go ahead and put that in. And then to give it an extra little almond punch, which I can't get enough almond flavoring, is a teaspoon of almond extract.
Cool. Pam wants to know, can you use maple syrup instead of the sugar? Somebody's asked. Pam wants to know.
Probably not, because you're going to need the sugar to create the that's part of the dry ingredients. Okay, if you replace it with maple syrup, it'll be too soft, and you're going to see how we mix these together. Now, you're going to think, oh my gosh, there's not enough liquid in here. As you start turning this around, it's kind of like sand. And then the more you just keep mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing, this will all incorporate into a nice little paste. So let me mix this and talk at the same time so we get this all incorporated. And it'll end up making a really nice paste here. And if you need to use your hands, you can certainly go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to be fine just mixing these around like this. One thing that you might want to consider doing for the holidays as well is adding a little bit of peppermint extract. If you like that, think of chocolate mint kind of cookie, this would be a perfect recipe to add a little bit of mint extract to give it that minty flavor for the holidays. So this comes together into pretty much a little bit of a sticky dough here. I don't know how good you can see it, but it's almost like firm cookie dough. Okay. And now I'm going to take my 1 tablespoon scooper and just start scooping these balls in my hands. And we're going to drop it into confectioner's sugar. Okay?
Oh, wow. Okay.
See how easy these are to do.
I was supposed to make these, everybody, but it's been a crazy 2 days.
Oh, did you stand me up and not make the cookies this week? Well, I have to say you're missing out because these are really good. Yeah. I would suggest that you go ahead and make these for you and Randy before the end of the weekend because they're really good. So guys, as you can see here, I'm just taking these, making little balls out of them, dipping them in the confectioner's sugar, and then putting them on the tray. Now, once you finish up your tray, and you'll probably get about 20 of these, just go ahead and with your palm of your hand, just slightly flatten it down, ever so slightly. You can see that right there. And then you just put these in the oven at 325 for 10 minutes. And that's it.
Oh, wow. Just 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes.
Really easy. Easy recipe.
When you take these out of the oven, they're really, really soft. You can't touch them. You're going to have to take them out of the oven, let them cool completely, and then they'll come off really easily, okay? But part of that cooking setting process is going to take place after you take them out of the oven. So, with the magic of television, after you take them out of the oven, voila, this is what they look like. Now, I have to admit, there's a smaller plate that I'm sharing here because I indulged in some of them. They're that good, so I ate the props. I ate the props, but I am happy to eat another one right now.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. They are so amazingly delicious. I think it's one of like my new favorite cookies here. So, yep, hang on a second.
There's the phone.
There's the phone. Somebody's already calling and they want some. One of my neighbors watching, is saying this. Maybe Coco Peru is watching and she's like, oh my gosh, I want some of those.
We need her on the show. I keep telling you that. You guys need to do a cooking segment together.
I would love to. Yeah. But as you can see, these are really easy to do. I highly recommend you add this to your vegan cooking recipe book. And I'm sure your family and friends are going to love them.
Yeah. How's life in LA?
LA's doing great. It's 70 degrees in the middle of December. You can't complain about that. So you're going to have to really enjoy.
Plans for Christmas? Your family coming over?
No, we're going to be COVID lockdown. We're going to be good.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll be definitely making some things and reminiscing with some great memories. Steve and I will definitely have some sort of a special dinner, and that'll be really nice.
Cool. Well, thank you for being on the show again. Everybody loves you, by the way. I get it. So many people who reach out to me to say how much they enjoy you. Can you hear me okay, by the way? We're having some audio problems earlier.
I could hear you just fine. And yeah, I was able to hear you just fine before.
Okay. Great. Maybe you'll come back next week and do another.
Well, I'm here. Why not? Next week, another cookies? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Get me in. All right.
Awesome. Great to see you, David.
Everybody. For God's sakes, wash your hands. Ciao.
Ciao. All right. That was fun. Now I want some cookies. Oh, my goodness. Thank you again, Super Space Cookie. I don't know who you are, except your name is Super Space Cookie, which I love, by the way. Thank you for that donation. Always good to see David. Yeah, I think I'm going to have him back next week. We did have a special guest for next week, but she contacted me last night to say that she wasn't feeling well, and I just want to send out some prayers and healing light to her. So next week, it may just be me and David and you guys, and I might do a whole bunch of sanctuary highlights. I think it's time. It's been a while, so it might be a nice break for all of us. And I'll show you guys some animals, and maybe I can figure out with Tiffany how to bring you guys outside. I think that would be a lot of fun. Can you guys believe it's almost Christmas? Last night, Hanukkah started. We're 3 weeks away from the new year. 2020 has certainly been an interesting year. My Christmas show, yes, next week is, you guys won't see that for next week. We won't be back till, I guess, the second week in January, first week of January. We're off for Christmas and New Year's, and my show happens to fall in between those. And I think Goldylocks Productions is off for that whole week anyway. So it'll be, I'll be able to catch up with some stuff. I was telling Tiffany today, this is my first time sitting down in at least 48 hours. It's been that crazy here. We've done a whole bunch of rescues in the past 2 days. All pigs, of course. We are implementing some really big changes at the sanctuary. and I'll probably talk about that more next time. We're actually going to be looking for a chairman of the board or chairperson of the board. We're really excited about it. It's going to enable us to really bring the sanctuary, I think, to the next level. Typically, when you start a nonprofit or a 501c3, which is a public charity, you have to get a board of directors, and to start out with, you need your president, your vice president, your board secretary, and a treasurer. And then it's a ton of paperwork. And typically with rescues, it's the owners that initially start. So I'm currently the president, Randy's the vice president, our amazing friend Kim is secretary, and I was treasurer. You can do two things. This year we did get a treasurer, which she's brought the sanctuary to the next level. And it's time for me and Randy to step down from the board and let the board be its own entity. And you guys can imagine what a benefit that would be for everyone involved. It really creates more transparency. It's how nonprofit boards operate. So we're starting to look for a chairperson. We're really excited about it, and it's really it's my head's spinning a little bit about having to let go of the reins. I'm one of those control freak kind of people, so but it's needed. And you guys can imagine it's you can't do everything, right? I'm the executive director here. That's my job. That's what it needs to be. And I'm looking forward to finding a chairperson that is as passionate about the animals as I am. And that's my big challenge for 2021. We hired an amazing nonprofit specialist who's helping us. You guys might remember Dan from Altri Consultants. We hired him this month, and he's helping us out, and he's really going to also help us get to that next level, so we can continue rescuing more animals, fulfilling all the challenges that are lying ahead of us. We have to build some buildings. We had our public hearing on this past Wednesday, and I just wanted to let everybody know the county, the board commissioners approved 100% all of our plans for the sanctuary. We're so excited. It's a big weight off our shoulders. They approved the office build and an outdoor space, community garden. We have these amazing plans. And our GoFundMe, speaking of GoFundMe, we have a GoFundMe up that is all of that money is being used to bring in these new buildings, bring electric, bring, septic, all that stuff that's kind of behind the scenes, and help us build our office and like a gift shop and just an area for people to come. We hope to be able to do vegan weddings, have an outdoor venue. And it's on charity GoFundMe, which I think you find on regular GoFundMe. I don't know if Tiffany has the link. It's charitygofundme.com/littlebearsanctuary. I'm pretty sure. Don't hold me to it. You can find everything, of course, on our website at littlebearsanctuary.org. Oh, yeah, Wilma. I mean, what a relief, right, Wilma? Wilma's one of our amazing volunteers. She's watching today. It's been, if you want to watch on closed CCTV, you can look up the Charlotte County CCTV, and you can actually watch live, taped, what happened on Wednesday. I literally, I had everybody crying, so it was really good. Had to give a little speech and showed a little documentary, I think, that you guys saw probably on the first episode here. So it was really fantastic to see the support of the commissioners, and we're really grateful that it went so smoothly. shout out to Elizabeth Nocheck for her amazing support and her help getting this done. So yeah, big hurdle. It's over with. We're heading into 2021 with some amazing stuff happening. Speaking of amazing things, I always tell you guys, if you shop on Amazon, list Little Bear Sanctuary as your Amazon Smile account. Amazon Smile, exactly like Amazon, you have to go to smile.amazon.com, and here's our that's the link to add Little Bear Sanctuary. It's free for you, and Amazon will donate a percentage of your shopping directly to us here at Little Bear. How great is that? And we also have an Amazon wish list. Again, all these links are on our website. And our Amazon wish list has, if you want to buy directly for our animals, we've got stuff on there from $10 and up, from treats for the piggies to pig houses, you name it, it's on there. We update that monthly. So if you want to check that out, it's another great way to support us. Of course, we have our Patreon that I talked about earlier. Patreon.com/Little Bear Sanctuary. I think everything's the same. So you can also sponsor an animal for $25 a month. That's directly on our website. I think next week what we'll do is, we'll do some sponsor stuff. We'll show some pictures. Like I said, I'll try to get you guys outside and meet the animals in person. It would be really fun if I could do that with you guys. And I think I have a way. I think it'll work. Maybe Tiffany and I can practice one day. What else can I tell you guys? Again, if you guys are watching, sign into YouTube, hit the subscribe button, like the show. You can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, follow us, like us. You can't donate, share our posts. It's a great way to share us with your friends, your family, anybody you're friends with. Another fun thing to do. Yeah. What else? Oh, yes. I'm going through my notes here. I am now attending Cornell University. I'm getting my certificate in plant-based nutrition. And I thought I would do that since I talked to you guys so much about veganism. I really wanted to be able to speak to you more on a better understanding of a plant-based diet and kind of give you guys some really great information on some of the statistics, the science behind it. Really figured, that would be a great way to share a lot of information with you. A lot of you guys have questions, from how much protein should we get, all those silly questions, to how much does it cost? Is it expensive? What to eat? All that good stuff. So I'm definitely going to be sharing a lot of stuff with you guys over the next few weeks. And it's a 6-week course. It's spread out right now, so I think I'll finish sometime at the end of February. The December 15th is the end of my first class, and it's really been fantastic. It's through Cornell University. They have a plant-based school. And the instructors are the 2 doctors who wrote the China study. So they've been truly amazing. I'm so happy to be able to do this. It's exciting stuff. All right, guys, we're almost at the end of the show. So again, next week, it'll be our final show before the Christmas and New Year break. So I think we'll figure out some kind of a Christmas spectacular with the animals. And I'm sure David will come back and bake some more vegan cookies. And again, guys, if you have any questions, info@littlebearsanctuary.org. You guys know how to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Instagram, on Facebook. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them. If there's anybody you want to see on my show, just tell me. I'll ask anybody. Again, thanks to Jamie, Lynne, and David Marcella for being on the show today. I will see you guys next Friday, same time, same place. And remember, guys, peace begins on your plate. Love you guys. Bye.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments. Then head over to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel. With the huge selection of shows, the fun doesn't have to end.